Rewaka is just wild. It feels like you're on the edge of the universe, edge of the known universe.
The cave on the far side of that sump is just phenomenal. You know, when you get through that sump and you surface to the sound of roaring water, you know you're somewhere really quite spectacular.
It's the most incredible place I've ever explored.
E kore, e kore, e po, e po, e ao, e ao. Takere mai te ata, kōrihi te manu, tino awatea, ka ao. Ka awatea, tihei, mauri ora.
My name's Matt Dunwoody. I am the current president of the Nelson Speleo Group, the caving club in Nelson. I am from Melbourne originally, but moved here for the caves. They're wonderful. And I've probably been caving for 10 plus years.
My name's Chris Jewell. I'm from the UK, but I'm living in Western Australia at the moment. And I've been caving and cave diving for over 20 years. I love caving because I love cave exploration. I love being underground. I think it's a fantastic opportunity to go to places that no one's ever seen before. I love the camaraderie, the enthusiasm, the excitement, working with teammates and doing cave exploration is just an incredible thrill.
I go caving because it's fun. I go caving because you get to explore places. I go caving because I like the people I go caving with.
It's only 5:30, we'll be out here by 9 o'clock. It's a pretty good day.
I don't think we get to the pub tonight.
My name is Kieran Mackay. I live in Ngāti Moti, which is just west of Nelson, and I belong to the local caving club, the Nelson Speleo Group. And I've been caving for over 45 years, probably closer to 50 years. The reason I go caving is because it's fun. I enjoy the physical challenge. It's a great opportunity to get out and explore and go places where no one else has ever been before. I also enjoy the people. I enjoy working together with a team of people to overcome serious obstacles in some real wild wildernesses. The Rewaka for me is super exciting, and it's an amazing opportunity to take on a big challenge with an awesome crew of people.
There's Bruce in his, what do you call it? Your soul bag.
Soul bag, bivvy bag.
Soul bivvy bag. And so it's Chris in his orange tomato thing.
Orange hobbit.
Yeah.
Over 1,000 years after Rewaka found the spring, the exploration continued. Members of the local diving club dived into the Rewaka and they passed 2 underwater sections and they found this huge chamber. A link was proven between the caves on top of the hill and the Rewaka. And knowing this, the local cavers took up the exploration.
So I first came to Takaka Hill in '72, and we were lucky enough to find things like green link. We knew that the water from green link came from the Rewaka, so the Rewaka became a big sort of focus, and so we went diving in the '70s. So we dived through the first 2 sumps in the Rewaka. The passage above that is large. It's a big passage with breakdown. We decided to have a look around the side of the chamber, and we found a small hole about a metre in diameter, which later called the coffin slot. We dropped down that into a big passage, probably 8-10 metres wide and almost the same high. And walked along that passage for maybe an hour till we hit the stream. So it was a dry passage till we hit the stream. And from then on we were in water quite a lot, swimming and things like that. And we finally found this humongous stump. So for cavers not long out from the UK who, found 30 metres was a big deal, we just found a kilometre of big open passage.
In the early 80s, teams of cavers went in to explore that third sump.
Keith and I were kitted up and raring to go. Excitement and adrenaline was very high. 20 metres deep, we flattened out and emerged into a large underwater chamber, maybe 15 metres wide, 25 metres high. To us it looked massive and endless.
In the early 90s, I led a team back to the Rewaka, and we managed to get through that third sump, and we found this incredible streamway. Waterfalls, deep pools, rock climbs. It was an amazing space.
This is the top of the momentary lapse of resin climb. It's a climb that Dave Weaver and I climbed back in the mid-90s when we were exploring this cave. We called it the momentary lapse of resin because the first pitch, which is 40 odd metres, Dave pretty much free climbed it. And I was belaying him and I just had to turn my back and I couldn't watch. It was 20-30 metres above me with no probe. I'm just thinking, God, I don't know what to fall off. For that reason, we called it the momentary lapse of resin. So 2 nice pitches, gets up into a passage that bypasses a sump underneath us.
And eventually we got stopped by a waterfall we couldn't climb. In the early 2000s, Martin Groves led a team back and they got up that waterfall. And they dived and climbed and walked and surveyed their way through 1.5 kilometres of passage. They ended up stopping at the top of a drop out of a dry passage back down into the streamway. Over the years, many people, including myself, have looked at this map and this lead on the map thinking, we need to go back there. And finally, in 2022, Bruce Clue and I went back and got down that pitch on a huge trip, and we explored upstream. I just remember standing in the streamway. It was just noise and deep pools and waterfalls and wind and spray. It was the most incredible place I'd ever been. Since 2022, I've been really wanting to get back there.
What attracted me to the Rewaka was a bit of the challenge of getting to the back of the cave. To get to the back of the cave, we need to dive about 180 metres, which isn't in the current world a technical dive, but it's still a big challenge to get the gear there through the cave and then gear off and start going up the cave on the other side.
Now finally, after 4 years, we've now got a team that's going back to explore beyond where Bruce and I got to. So the cave starts off bushwalk, small passages, down some climbs.
Got it. Got it. Got it. That's why my dad, Jesus Christ.
Big chambers, rock pile, pitch. More just tramping through big chambers and over big piles of rocks, swimming up a river, diving through a sump, more river passage and swims, up a big climb, up a big pitch.
Oh, you got a hood on. Yeah.
There's a swim and a little really low sort of airspace you have to get through. Then you go across a big lake. falls, eventually end up in a big dry passage.
We've just climbed up out of the stream and we're in a passage called Pensioners Paradise. This bypasses the sump. We're going to go along through this dry passage for a little bit and drop down a 15-metre pitch back into the creek.
Drop down about a 15-metre pitch back into the river. And then it's just onwards up this river.
It was amazing to drop down the pitch back into the streamway, walk upstream, and after only a couple of climbs, we were off into a brand new passage. And that brand new passage was spectacular. It was absolutely beautiful. Again, you've got a fast flowing river that you're wading up, you've got little cascades you're clambering up. It's physical caving, so you're working quite hard to get up some of these rocks, and also fight the flow of the water in a lot of places. Also really exhilarating. To get a chance to explore a fast flowing river cave is really special. Really, really beautiful. Yeah, what an absolute thrill.
That passage up there, we didn't know what to expect, whether it was going to be big climbs or more sumps, but we got there and it just kept inviting us to go further. Easy 2-3 metre climbs, big canyon to go up, wading through pools. So we kept on going up the passage. It changed from big canyons to big streamway we can run up. At some point we knew we would get to a sump, bottom of Middle Earth, and that's all sumps at the bottom. So we knew we would get to the other side of possibly one of the sumps there. We would hit a sump at some point before connecting to Middle Earth. When we got there, it was a bittersweet moment. We wanted to keep on running down, but we were also happy to have the new challenge of going through the sump waiting for us.
And then came around the corner and there's a big sump. That was the end of the day for us. We couldn't go any further. And I thought, oh, great, go home now, that'll be it. And then Chris Joel just casually said, well, why don't we just go and get Matt's gear and bring it up here and dive it? And the mind was going, yeah, that's a good logical thing to do. And the body's going, oh my goodness, that's going to be hard work. But we went out of the cave, we rested a day, then we went back, grabbed Matt's kit, and we dragged that up to the sump and he dived it.
So this sump is the upstream part of the Rewaka. It's the furthest upstream we've got. And between us and Middle Earth, there's about probably 600 or 700 metres of unknown. And hopefully Matt will dive through here and serve us in another bit of streamway and bring the caves closer and closer together. Just quickly, Matt, while you're doing that, what is that? It's a rebreather. It lets you recycle some of your gas, so you don't.
Have you used it before?
Once or twice. Yeah. Hey, what sort of duration are you expecting on this? So I've already used a bit of oxygen coming in, and it's just a 1 litre cylinder, but I'll have an hour. An hour, great. An hour maximum in the water, but 5 hours of walking on the other side. That means we freeze our fucking asses off. Yeah. Stay out of the water. Great. Thanks.
You're going to make us a cup of tea, aren't you?
Yeah. I'll make some tea. It's nice and warm. Oh, it's nice and real warm. Oh, it's boiling.
So for a dive like this, myself and Kieran were diving what we call open circuit, so normal scuba regulators. So we have 2 cylinders. For cave diving, particularly in sumps, we're using what's called side mount, a system where you put the cylinders on your side. Okay, so a cylinder on either side. You have a carabiner or a bolt snap, a way of clipping it to your waist. So you lift it into a position on the side, you clip it, and usually wrap around a piece of bungee that's then clipped to your chest harness. And so what you get as you're diving along is 2 cylinders aligned with your body on the side of your body. It's nice and streamlined. It means you can reach the cylinder valves very easily. So if something were to happen, you've got the cylinder just there, you can get to the taps, you can access everything. Very flexible system.
Well, it's always a bit nervous thinking about going into a new sump. You don't know how far it's going to be, you don't know how deep it's going to go. And on this one in particular, it could have gone 20, 30, 40 metres deep quite easily.
I mean, he hasn't got the orange reel. He's got the orange reel with him. Please. All right. What's the news? Tension, excitement.
As far as sumps go, it was clear, big, it was just lovely to dive through. And like the passage earlier on, it just kept inviting me to go further. It was probably 150 metres of diving, and you can always tell when you're close to surfacing because you can see the shimmering reflection of the surface of the water. But in this case, I could also see a little waterfall pouring into the water, creating bubbles that you can hear and see. So that was a good sign because it meant there would be a big dry passage on the other side. I stuck my head up and there it was. I could see 50 metres up into the distance, a big climb to do. And yeah, I couldn't get my gear off quick enough to get out of the water and go for a run, and that's what I did. Yeah, got my gear off and then got out of the water. And that went up a big rock fall, and I needed to do a little bit of climbing to get up there. And it popped into this huge, gigantic chamber. It would have been 50 metres wide, 50 metres high, and you can see a big river passage where it would flow. And so I followed that up, 50, 100 metres, and that got to a big climb that you'd probably want some rope for that one. So we'll have to go back at some point and go climb that.
Rangiora saw water flowing out of Papatūānuku. Now, over 1,000 years later, we know where that water comes from and how that water gets through Papatūānuku to come out of the spring. Using this knowledge, my hope is that people will continue their work to keep the water clean and healthy and uphold the mana of the Rewaka.